figured I might want to interview some people. And this is outside of the St. Mark's Church. Zohran has a town hall about NYCHA issues, about housing issues. So I figured I'd interview some people outside and ask them why they're here and why they're supportive. And at 6:15, Zohran will start, so I'll film that as well. We'll try to wait for a few people to get in and see if anybody wants to talk. There's a gentleman handing out flyers, so appreciate that. Wage theft, I like it.
We both got our own yeah, told about this. We can watch. But we also would like if you can to
I appreciate it. You got good attendance. Looks like the church to be mostly filled. How you doing?
Doing all right.
Good. I have a YouTube. No pressure, but just wondering if you want to talk about what Hochul's doing wrong.
Yeah, sure.
And how people could fight against her.
I might not be the best person.
Okay. No worries.
But we have a really good speaker right here.
Oh, sweet. Awesome. Okay. Cool. I'll ask him. Good of you to show up, though. Yeah. Hey, Sean, good to see you. Long time.
I can try though.
Oh, you're all right. Whoever wants to talk, no pressure either way. But
Talk about the wage theft issue.
yeah, have a little YouTube.
Right now. Yeah. Oh, leave it.
Okay, good. Respect. Well, I know she's been no friend to Chinatown. I know that she has been. She really, Kathy Hochul. I know she worked very hard with Margaret Shin to rezone a lot of the districts.
Here today. Yes.
Oh, cool. And there's Janine.
Hi.
Long time no see. How you been? How you been?
Moving to Boston or something?
No, I travel around, so it's like I'll be in Boston because I'll have some trials and stuff to cover. Good to see you. It's been a while. Congrats.
Going in?
Yeah. I got a little YouTube, so I'm actually interviewing people outside.
Awesome.
Yeah. But I'll go in probably when he starts to speak. Got a good amount. But yeah, I helped out Chris Marte, who ran against Margaret Shin.
Oh, I did some canvassing for Margaret.
Oh, respect. Oh, awesome. Very cool. Yeah, I helped him when he ran against her back in 2017. He lost. So you must have helped the winning campaign.
I did. I was only.
Sweet. Respect.
I've only been volunteering.
Can I go in or I have to wait out
earlier
here?
this summer.
Okay. Makes sense.
I mean, yeah, you're more so in the know, definitely.
Well, good of you to show up, though. That's a big part of it. And I guess do you like Zohran for mayor? Is he your guy, or looking at some other candidates?
I mean, I think Zohran is the guy. He is pretty much. I don't really see Cuomo having any enthusiasm behind him.
Yeah.
Really, you know, the only enthusiasm behind Cuomo is like people who are anti-Zohran. At this point, like Woody Allen endorsed Cuomo.
I didn't even know that. That's a great endorsement.
Yeah, what we want to see though is to see Zohran actually, you know, we understand he has his position on Palestine, he has his position on bus fares, etc. But we want to see more concrete policy around housing, anti-displacement.
Interesting. So you're saying for Zohran specifically?
For Zohran specifically, you want to see that he isn't in favor of this gentrification that's happening all over Manhattan, Brooklyn, Flushing, Queens, all this stuff, you know, about the casino. It's already been done. We want to see more of a push against the 24-hour workday and the abuses that these home care workers and other workers in New York City see. And, you know, we haven't heard so much of that rhetoric, but I trust that Zohran is one person who is actually willing to listen, unlike Cuomo, who actually actively vetoed the sweat law back when it reached his office in Albany. And we want to see that there is some change. We want to see Hochul actually. I'm glad to see that she's changed her tune on Zohran. That kind of maybe shows that maybe she's willing to change her tune on Sweat. And yeah, we just want to see that workers get paid for the work that they do. It's not a very controversial issue to most regular people, but to, you know, people in office and sweatshop bosses. They don't want that to happen.
Eloquently put. Yeah, very true. And is there one specific organization that's trying to make sure this is still allowed, or is it a group of, is it some real estate, is it some company, or hard to say?
Yeah, so the biggest opponent to all this happening is the Chinese American, the CPC, the Chinese Planning
Council. Right. Classic,
They're the ones who have been underpaying their workers and fighting to make sure that they don't get back pay by going to the courts and kind of just argue that they don't have the money or whatever, but they do actually, and they're just using all these sort of like loopholes and legal tax things to just like avoid having to pay the workers.
Right.
And they're trying to whitewash their image a little bit by saying, oh, we actually do help the community and we do all this, but they actually don't when you really look at the numbers and all the money that they
And it's a lot of promotion to say all the good they're doing,
Right.
when in reality, yeah. And Chris Marte, do you feel he's been doing all right?
Yeah, I think he's a good guy. I mean, compared to anyone else, I think he's actively helping fight displacement and trying to work with the community that he represents, rather than just with the top level, shadow donors. I think it's great that Chris only accepts donations from working class people and his actual representatives, and not from these super PACs. And yeah, I think he's an all right guy.
Yeah, well put. And the last question is, you mentioned Hochul's endorsement. A lot of the news has been talking about Carl Heastie, the head of the Assembly, endorsing, Hochul endorsing, the head of the Democratic Party, Jay Jacobs, not endorsing. First, do you know who any of those people are? I mean, obviously Hochul, but besides that, do you know who any of these people are? And do you care? Is your mind altered in any way because of Heastie's endorsement or Jay Jacobs' lack of endorsement?
Honestly, the only reason I kind of care is because I care about hypocrisy in a way. It doesn't change my mind on Hochul so much because I wasn't so much a fan of her before.
But it's kind of like you're watching them. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, it doesn't make me... like for Jeffries not endorsing Zohran, it just seems like a sort of hypocritical stance to take after all these years.
Right, Hakeem Jeffries, yeah.
Vote who, no matter who, I voted for Biden, and
Right.
I would expect that they would also concede the other way. And yeah, I personally think that the people that want to vote for Zohran or want to vote for change will vote for change, despite what their
It's kind of irrelevant. Yeah.
people, like,
I mean, the press seems to think that we're all just like lemmings, like following whatever local elected official represents us, and most people don't really care or know who they are anyway, and most of them are pretty spineless people. So yeah, I'm glad that's not really a big part, because you're like, oh, this is a big deal when he gets it. It's a big deal when he doesn't. And I'm like, nobody in reality is paying attention to any of that.
Yeah, I think the people need to hold their politicians accountable and not the other way around.
Well put. Yeah. And are you getting involved in Zohran's campaign, or are you advocating for the people of Chinatown first and foremost?
I'm more local.
Cool. Respect.
Kind of maintain what I think a lot of New Yorkers, they understand that a lot of the actual change in policy that gets made is at the council member level.
Right.
And that's kind of the level that I'm more so focused on, but I'm also focused on campaigns around the city.
Last question. Curious. You know a lot about this stuff. Do you think Dan Goldman should get primary downtown?
So this is something I'm just learning about, actually.
Okay. Cool. So I might ask them about it.
Yeah.
Awesome. What's your name?
Mazamel.
Mazamel, I'm Dutch. You're awesome, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. You gave us last thing. 200 people are watching. What website could they go on to support your cause for the people of Chinatown? Or you can zoom in on this. How about that?
No more 2-4.
Wednesday, no more 24. Okay, nomore24.org. Wednesday, October 8th. I think I'm going to show up for my YouTube, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Just screenshot this.
Really appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Yeah, of course. Well, you'll get some coverage. All right, thank you. I appreciate it. Nice meeting you guys. All right.
Maybe AIW.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, or let me see.
You're the best.
Streaming the town hall?
Yeah. So I'm going to live stream it. I'm going to interview some people outside as well. I like what you guys are doing. I helped out Chris Marte's campaign. So, when he ran against Chin, it was, that planning group is like the most evil, shady group.
Which planning?
Or the one that were in support of Margaret. Because there's like two Chinese council. I forget, there's a good one that helped out Chris, and there was like a pro-development one.
Yeah.
I remember, yeah.
Like people can go to AIW campaign
Awesome.
on Instagram.
Perfect.
That's gonna be
AIW campaign on Instagram. I appreciate that. Cool. So check that out, guys. There's a lot of people advocating for workers' rights here. Ben, can I interview you?
Something like that.
You didn't hear me, or maybe you did.
He represents the area.
You're the best. I appreciate it. This is State Committee State Committee man, Ben Yee. I briefly ran against him, but I'm glad he got the position.
Thanks.
And what brought you? You're kind of organizing this, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'd say I was an instrumental organizer on this
Nice.
one.
Yeah,
It was sort
right.
of my idea. And
Well done.
I was the first one to reach out to the campaign, and we got the groups together, which is super exciting. And everybody's put a lot of effort into this. So
Very
I think
cool.
it should be fantastic.
And it will be live streamed. So what issues can we
Yeah.
look at, especially that kind of pertain to the downtown area?
Oh, fantastic. We've got a
Village
lot
area.
of really local issues. Of course, people want to know about affordable housing, but as it pertains to, the neighborhoods here. But we've got the Dapolito Center, for example. There's going to be a question about that.
Interesting.
We've got, we've got Beth Israel closing, and without...
Oh, the
saying-
Bethers is closing now.
Yes.
Wow, you leave for a little bit. You're like, man.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
man. Because I was involved with St. Vincent's.
Exactly.
And trying to
So
keep them open. Well,
there's
good
no
for
St.
you
Vincent's,
for trying
there's
to.
no
Right.
Beth Israel, so there's a
Oh, that's
huge
sad.
hospital desert.
Right.
And we're going to be talking about that. So that's very... Hey, how's it going? That's super critical to Lower Manhattan. And then we've got things that pertain to the whole city as well, like, keeping crime low. We're on an all-time low of crime, basically, despite what they might say on Fox News. So how do we sustain that? Sanitation issues are slated to be discussed, although I will say that we have a lot of questions, a lot of issues. We're not going to be cutting them off because we want to have our substantive
Nice. So you really chew on
conversation.
these answers for once, which is kind
We
of nice.
want these
Yeah.
answers. We want them to really have
Awesome.
time to go into the nuances. So we're going to get through as many questions as we can.
Nice.
But we only have a limited amount of time with them, which makes me sad.
How many people wanted to go that couldn't get in necessarily? So the wait lists, or were you able to get everybody in who wanted to? Or is it hard to say at the moment?
That's tough to say. I actually wasn't in charge of the list. That's really
Okay.
a Kim
That might be,
Beck
yeah.
question.
Richard mentioned it too.
Yeah.
He didn't know he was going to give you a ticket. He's like, he didn't think I actually show up.
Yeah.
So you're nowhere near New York, but he was like, all right, just in case, I'll give you a ticket. So
I'm glad
I
you
think
could make
Richard-
it.
Yeah, thank you for letting us know
Have you
about it.
moved back, or you just?
Yeah. I'm at my mom's, which is like an hour away, which is in Putnam County.
Beautiful, fantastic.
See, I was doing local TV news, and then I got fired for talking about Scientology,
Oh, yeah.
which is like a crazy cult. But then I got a big following from all the people who hate Scientology. So I did a little YouTube. Now I made nothing with TV news, but at least I'm making more than I made with TV news doing YouTube. It's a lot less work.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
you're an
Yeah,
influencer.
I guess so. In some small way. I hate that term, and now that makes me feel horrible. But yeah, but thank you. I guess you're right in some regard. I appreciate it. It's fun.
You're actually making money. On
Yeah.
Not a lot of people can say that.
No, that's true. Yeah, there's an interesting start because I went on like a press tour. I got like an article in New York Post and stuff, and then all these people. There's like one dude had like 1 million subscribers, so I went on his channel and got my own. And it's been
that's
fun.
fantastic.
Yeah.
that's actually
And
really
then,
exciting. Well,
thank you.
congrats,
I've
dude.
enjoyed it. Yeah. So, but
You
good
can
to.
make it to this, and I guess
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is going to be great for your channel, hopefully. And
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
need
it
any
is.
assets after the fact, let me know.
Oh,
I'm
thank
happy to
you.
try and help you
Oh,
out.
you're the best. I appreciate it. And don't let me keep you. I know
Yeah,
you
I
say
gotta
hello.
get
You're the
back
best.
in
Thank you, Ben. How you doing? So, Clara, we got 250 people watching. Got some good conversations. I used to be involved in local politics, so this is like catching up with a lot of old friends. I kind of know half the people here. Let's read the chats. Can I ask you guys about why Dan Goldman is lame?
I don't want
No
to be
pressure.
in video,
Okay,
but-
no worries. I hear
Sorry,
you.
I'm so
That's
sorry.
all right. Well, they don't want to be in video, but don't vote for Dan Goldman.
Yes,
How about that?
exactly. Sorry.
You're all right.
Actually,
I always wonder, like, if you're gonna promote somebody and try to get them defeated, you think like, oh no, you're fine. Yeah, I think. Oh, I didn't bring it with me. If you have a little pen, I could write it down if you'd like.
Okay.
Appreciate the interest.
it's very near.
Yeah, I used to be involved way back in the day, so I know a few people from yesteryear. I ran for city council in District 2 when I was about 18.
Straight in District 2?
Yeah, way back against Rosie Mendez. I know. I dropped out, luckily. I didn't think I had a prayer in hell. I'm glad she won. I think that made a lot more sense. I'll write down my info.
Yeah, just go straight in.
Perfect.
Yeah, we can put a table out, or we can fit it on the.
Sorry, guys, write down my info.
Actually, they were going to have a meeting in 2 weeks, but then That's the county. That's what the county does.
Sorry, guys, writing down my info.
Kenny. Actually, there ain't ways that it's like, trying to get out of there.
I'll read the chat, guys.
Coming forward, what's the president?
Wait for your patience. Okay. All right, I'll read the chat. That's my YouTube. Everything's just my name.
Anything's just your name.
So my YouTube is my name. My email is my name.
Okay.
I have a weird name.
Dodge. Dodge.
Yes, Dodge, like the car.
Hey, Lisa.
It's a strange name. Hey, long time no see. I'm glad it has been 5 years, though. It's only been 2 months this time.
Okay.
I'm going to see you. All right, let's see if anybody else is out here. Let's look at the time. All right, he should be on in like 30 minutes, so we'll catch up with the chat. Are we getting free dinner? I don't think so. Do you buy bots, Dodge? No bots. This is genuine support. Oh, somebody gave me a super chat. Thank you for the one person giving me a super chat. Thank you for the one person. All right, this is a good opportunity. I'm going to grab a quick smoke and see what all you crazy kids are saying in the chat. But no bots. We got 250 people watching, and we'll have a lot more watching, I'm sure, when Zohran speaks. But yeah, we're asking some people some questions. Well, the biggest question that I'm interested in is, does anybody give a crap about any of these big politicians who are not actually that big, endorsing or not endorsing? It's like, does anybody give a shit that Jay Jacobs, the chairman of the Democratic Party, oh my God, 5 people have heard of Jay Jacobs. Does anybody give a shit that he endorsed or not? Does anybody care that Kathy Hochul, nobody actually cares that Kathy Hochul endorsed. So it's interesting, and one of the reasons I wanted to go here is to interview people who have enthusiasm and who have been on the ground about these issues. I mean, these are people who have been involved in local politics for quite some time, and some people that I know. And even them, I'm trying to ask, are these endorsements relevant? And they're not. DJ says REP, charge clerk, okay. I don't care about Kathy. She seems corrupt. I don't know who Kathy is. What the fuck are any of you guys talking about? Money kickbacks, strange people in the world. You're strange. Are we getting free dinner? No. Well, you can check out my OF though. You can vote for whoever you want. I'm just trying to tell you the truth, is Robbie. Yeah, this is an unmodded chat. Zohan is lame. You misspell Zohan. KM says Sliwa is gay. It would be okay if he were. Sliwa's cool too. I like Zoran's my number one choice, but Sliwa loves the city. Somebody says Zoran is the devil. Your mom was the devil last night. Pumba Fow gives me a super chat thing. He says he speaks in rich gay. I speak in rich gay. Thank you. Thank you for the super. I'll speak more rich gay if you give me super chats. Guys, I'll open my cheeks if you give me a $200 super chat. Somebody asked who farted. It wasn't me, but usually it is me. Dodge gonna make him famous. I know. He's getting the support because of me. I just gave him 10. Oh, that was you, me. Thank you, you, me. LGBT, pro-gay, very cool. What are any of you talking about? I'll try to talk to more people. Tony, good to see you. It's been about like a decade. How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You coming in?
I am. I got a little YouTube. No pressure. It'd be fun to interview you and ask you why you're here. I know you're very active downtown with VID.
Here to see Mamdani.
Cool. And you think things are looking good?
They look good, definitely. Yeah.
And do you think any of the Heasty endorsement or the lack of the Jay Jacobs endorsement makes much of a difference?
Well, I think it's still early.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a good in my opinion, there's a good possibility that those endorsements will come.
At some point, yeah, good point. We still have quite a bit of time. And you've been an activist in the village, I think, for what, over 30 years now?
50.
50, that long. Very cool. So what's your biggest concern as somebody who knows this neighborhood like the back of your hand?
Well, it's the same as everybody. It's affordable. Right. It's just not only housing, it's unaffordable to live here. But even if I know people were complaining to us who had rent-controlled apartments and weren't paying much, it says there's no place for us to shop.
Right. Well put. Well, glad you're out here fighting. Very good to see you. Hopefully I'll catch you after. You're the best. Thank you. So that was Tony Hoffman. He's cool. He was head of a Democratic club. A lot of people that I know. I'll just give it to you a rundown. Give them a rundown. Tony's been out there. He's been hardcore. I'll try to talk to some other people as they come in. But it's almost time to film him probably in about 20 minutes, give or take. How do you know you're at Gas Barbecue, the hot tub 6? I don't know what you're talking about. People say he's going on forever. Okay. Cool. Just looking at my chat. This guy's an interesting guy. He got to know last Le Mans.
So a couple years back, there was something called Switch Up.
But yeah, this is like, can I ask you a few questions? No pressure. I appreciate that. Thank you.
But I have to stop when.
Of course, somebody's coming in.
Yeah.
I hear you. You've been involved for, I think we met maybe many years ago. We must have met a decade ago.
I remember your
yes.
name. I remember.
It's a weird name, isn't it? So good to see you. I know you're involved in downtown politics, have been for a while, but what brought you out here today and to really want to help Zohran? It looks like you're helping the campaign.
Looking at the list.
Yeah, I really want to help Zohran.
Cool. And
Can't wait till he gets elected.
was he your choice in the primary?
Yes.
Okay. And do you think anybody cares about the lack of the Jay Jacobs endorsement?
Have a good night. Welcome.
Mr. Dwayne, good to see you. How are you? Good forever. You look good. Thank you. Thank you. You look great. I like the paisley. And I like that. I didn't notice the hair. That's cool.
It's fading, but I gotta get it.
I still notice it. No pressure. I have a YouTube. I'm a huge fan of yours.
Oh.
So I'd love to ask you, as a former state senator, what brought you out here for Zohran today?
Well, I have not actually met him.
Cool. Okay.
But I'm a supporter of his.
Love it.
When my endorsement became public, it sounded like it was more recent than it was. I actually was for him before, the Gay Pride March, and I tried to get too close and get my picture with him or something. Because you haven't endorsed it unless it's public. So
early
anyway,
credibility.
Yes. I've worked and know the other candidates.
Okay, and so you know them personally.
So I'm not going to
right?
say,
You've worked with Cuomo, right? Were you there at the same time? Right.
Senator Adams together.
Right.
I've had experiences with
There's quite a few of Adams. There's Adams, Cuomo, Sliwa. You knew Sliwa.
I didn't want to say like a great beret. Just Curtis Sliwa. It was like I was censoring myself. So anyway, and I'm a Democrat. I'm a very progressive Democrat.
Yeah, I've been your whole life.
He's naturally my kind of candidate. And, do I agree with him 1,000% of everything? No. But I agree with him on an awful lot of things. And I like that he is working to make a better world.
I'm curious. You have a lot of credibility for LGBTQ rights. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you were the first candidate to be honest and upfront about your AIDS diagnosis. And you led a lot of people to be comfortable with telling people that and destigmatizing that. Do you think your support of Zohran, because that was in the 80s, I think.
Actually, it was that I had HIV. I had actually.
Okay, right.
I was. So it was. I announced that I was HIV positive.
Okay, right.
And I lived long enough for there to be medication, and here I am. I'm still going.
Yeah.
And so.
Look great.
But there is still, even in living in New York City, stigma around HIV and AIDS, and people don't tell their families necessarily. They don't tell their landlord. They don't tell people at work because health insurance can be more expensive. So there is some stigma, too much stigma. But I try every day, really, to reduce the stigma. And I raise with people that there is stigma, even if people don't think they're stigmatizing people, they are. But we all stigmatize people. But it's just HIV is particularly acute. But I hope it brings the credibility. I feel like there's a certain demographic of queer and older progressive people that my imprimatur might mean something to them. So that's why I was, happy to support him.
Well put. Last question. What was it like working with Adam? What was Adams like as a state senator?
He was hardworking. He mostly voted well.
Okay.
Not quite as liberally as I did, but still. I thought he was a good guy, and I was shocked at all of the allegations. I guess I'm kind of a Pollyanna. I knew members of the staff that had been named in the press. I feel very badly for them as well. My heart goes out to them, and I'm angry because it gives elected officials a bad name, and we're not all bad.
You're certainly not. Yeah.
I mean, like any profession, right? Most are good, some are bad. But he's mayor, and so just disappointed. Really disappointed.
Well put. And then the last thing is we got about 400 people watching. You have an awesome podcast. Would you like to tell people the title of it?
Yes,
Cool.
Of course I do. It's You Don't Say, Conversations with the Loquacious Mr. Duane.
Beautiful.
And soon there's going to be a taping of the MNN television show called The Recruiters, because not this sort of stereotypical way that they queers recruit, we'll help people to come out, but this is about recruiting people to fight back against the terrible things that are happening in this country and the destruction of our
I like you using that term
democracy.
against them, yeah.
You cannot sit around and do nothing. Everyone has to do something, and that's what their message is, and you have to recruit your friends to do it too. Because as I always say, what is organizing? Organizing is doing stuff and trying to get other people to do it with you.
Right, showing up as half the battle. Beautiful. Well, I'll help with that recruit.
It's really good to see
Good
you.
to see you. We're friends on Facebook, so keep in touch. And yeah, maybe I could interview you later on for the YouTube. You're awesome.
I'm not sure about that.
I don't think you are. That's why I always got to log. Good to see you, Tom. Take care. That was cool. That was Tom Duane, state senator from way back. First person, I have to correct myself, with the HIV diagnosis who ran and won for public office. So yeah, we got some interesting characters. He served with Adams in the state senate. He was in the state senate for quite a long time. Nice guy. Not everybody treated me well in local politics, but he was always a very nice guy. Brother, you guys. All right, I'm gonna catch up with some of the chats.
No, we are done.
So he said vote Curtis Lee. Well, nothing wrong with some Curtis. I'll allow Curtis promotion. I'll ask Lamont, Carolina. He's cool. Hey, you're Lamont, right? I've seen you on Facebook, so it seems like you're quite an activist. What's up? You're good.
How's it going, brother?
I'm good. You might be on the phone, so no. Oh, you're fine.
I'll call you right back, right?
Don't make me interrupt you. You sure?
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
I'm about to head out in a second.
Okay, I'll let you. I just got a little YouTube. I know you're a mover and shaker at this point.
I'm far from it. But yeah.
You've been out there. You feeling good about the election?
Yeah, I feel good.
What?
Oh, are we recording?
Yeah, that's what I say. Oh, my bad. I can extend you to that.
Gotcha.
That's why I wanted
I can
to connect.
talk off the record.
Okay, I hear you. I feel you. Well, I'll catch you.
I'm happy to talk to you.
Okay, cool. I'll catch you for your thoughts then. After I'm not recorded at some point. 'Cause
If you
I'd be
ask
curious.
me my thoughts outside of the campaign, I can give you that.
Yeah, well, can I ask you? Yeah, for your thoughts outside of the.
If you're asking for my thoughts on, Zohran or
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Just if you feel things are looking good, if you feel, do you think anybody cares that Jay Jacobs didn't endorse, or is the press trying to make this a competitive race where it might not really be at the end of the day?
I don't know.
That's just so you're being cautious still.
Yeah.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't really talk about Jay Jacobs.
Sure. Yeah, that's very specific. Yeah.
I can tell you, I think there's a real opportunity here.
Yeah.
I think to reshape what New Yorkers have experienced for such a long time. And I think looking at somebody like right now, like Zohran coming in, I think there's an opportunity here, and obviously Democrats have to unite around him. And when we do that, we're able to get to a place where I think a lot of things can happen. We've seen other progressives in the past come into the fold, and they don't get that groundswell of support from certain, the side that they need.
Yeah, Angie Walton, Buffalo was like a tragic, This is a much bigger race with a lot more people paying attention, thank God. So it's very different. But you've seen it happen,
I think the other piece, too, is like we have a lot of great races across the state.
Well, that's true, too,
That folks aren't talking about because everybody's focused on New York.
That's interesting.
Internationally, people are focused on the New York City general election, which is like weird. They're not super weird, but it's weird.
Yeah.
But it's like you've got these great races, across the state. But I think, Zohran is showing New Yorkers, and me speaking as a New Yorker and a voter, man, this is exciting. It's exciting. And we haven't seen the excitement from, I think, our party in a long time. In New York and outside of it. Like you look at Obama's race, right? We talk about the old man Obama, right? Old man Obama.
Were you involved like way back then in his campaign? If I'm not mistaken, because we've been friends on Facebook, I think, since like 2008. Yeah. Respect. So you know what it's like to feel that excitement.
Yeah.
How do you felt it between Obama and Zohran? Was there a candidate in the middle that was like, this person has a charisma, this person could allow for me to dream? Or does Zohran generate that excitement that hasn't really been harnessed since Obama? Hard to think of your whole, that's 15 years. And I know you've been part of a million campaigns.
Right.
Yeah.
I think you got to look at the dynamics and like the internal dynamics are much different in both of these. One of them is you have Zohran that's just coming and speaking to what people need. Very simple message.
Right.
Very simple idea. And here I am.
Right. That's it.
Versus
Right.
Obama. And I'm not to take anything away from Zohran. Zohran's has done a great job so far in explaining his message and getting out there to the people. With Obama, it was 8 years of Bush. It was war. It was, deficit. It was, there were just a whole bunch of dynamics that we don't have today, which both are different and competing. But Obama came through with this energy that people were ready for and excited for, this message of hope and change. And I think Zohran, in comparison, his message, affordability.
It's very specific, right?
Accessibility, right? Free buses,
right?
Tax the rich, universal child. There's just certain elements, and I feel like there are some similarities there, but you also have just those worlds at that point where that world was different from today. And I'm sure in 8 years from now, we're gonna have a different world, and maybe even 12 or 16 or 20 years from now, where like there's going to be a guy or a gal, hopefully, who breaks through with a message that is resonating for the folks at that moment at that time.
Right. He knew how to harness it at the point when it was there to do.
And also, New York City, you had a race that was ranked choice. We didn't have that. And so that's another dynamic, a factor that you have to consider.
Yeah. The last question, what issue is most important to you in this election? Or even 2 or 3?
I think there's a focus on the poor.
Yeah.
The middle class is also getting left behind.
That's true.
And I think we don't pay enough attention to the middle class and just how folks who don't qualify for certain subsidies and, certain housing are getting left behind. And those folks are right now also living paycheck to paycheck, the majority of them, or some of them, right? And so it's like, how are we addressing those needs? And I'm excited that Zohran is talking about housing and bringing it up to the forefront because it's super important. And we're not seeing that from a lot of candidates locally and nationally talk about housing. You have private equity coming in and buying up, single family homes, starter homes at a, record pace to make a profit. And so it's putting the judicial system on its head. And no one's talking about it. They're not addressing it. So I'm glad that that's an issue that I think is important.
Do you think that's one of the reasons he was able to rise to the top as the key non-Cuomo challenger? I mean, obviously, the other progressive candidates had housing as their issue, but Zohran made it more interactive. The social media, he was highlighting areas that didn't have opportunity for people.
He did a good job of connecting with people.
Yeah,
I mean, you see him riding a city bike.
Right.
You see him, his social media was off the hook. You see him, on the subways. You saw him, and I think that can't be understated. Just the accessibility and availability coming out and sitting out in the square as a candidate. You don't see that.
Right. It's smart,
Folks are like, they're So he did a really good job at harnessing that.
Cool.
But he's also been on the ground.
Yeah.
Zohran's been on the ground. And shout out to the other candidates. You had some candidates in the race, in the primary, who could have done.
They're so excellent, very talented. Yeah.
You had some folks. Some of them are friends, right?
Yeah.
So I'm excited that those folks were able to get their message out, and I think that helped shape and influence Zohran as well.
Yeah.
Just like he had a play on them as well. So I'm excited because it also shows that young voters and young candidates are out there, and it's not just like the tradition. It's not like the old people. No disrespect to growing old, because I'm growing old too. See my
Aren't we all?
grades. But it's also like showing that this party can evolve and shape into the things that, and support the people that are at the bottom of it.
Yeah, and actually highlight them.
Excited about it. And it's good to see you too.
Good to see you. We'll keep in touch. I appreciate it, Omar. You're awesome. A bunch of people saying you're awesome, passionate, powerful. So thank you for the cogent words. Nah, don't sell yourself short. Never sell yourself short.
I'll see you later. Here, take
Yeah, let's keep in touch, definitely. Thank you, man. Awesome. You're the best. I appreciate it. Keep up the good work. Oh, big fan of Delgado, too. Oh, no way. Oh, awesome. Congratulations. We'll talk. Yeah, definitely. Nice guy. I met him way back in 2009. Macy sort of remembered me. It's like I sort of remembered him. He sort of remembered me. Oh, this is not part of the Zohran thing. This is fun. Cool. Smoked a cigarette before I come in. So yeah, we spoke to some really cool people. From North Carolina. I've been an activist for a long time. Tom Duane, he's a state senator. People saying horrible things in this chat. Guys, if you say anything too horrible, I'm going to ban you. I don't ban anybody, but I will ban you if you say something egregious, unless you give me a $200 super chat, because Zohran might be socialist, but I'm a capitalist, and I want money up my butthole immediately. Benjamin Rogers says, when the hamster... I'm not going to read that. Somebody says, R.A.P. Charlie, okay. Mayor says, off topic, what a handsome man. He's a good-looking dude. Think about this guy. You think this guy thinks the whole chat is joking about him, huh? I don't know. People always make fun of me. I hate myself. You can't hate me more than I already hate myself, bitch. Give me a fucking super chat. Somebody called me a stupid sheep. Great. Waiting 8 hours for free bread isn't ideal at all. I don't think that's going to happen. I want literal bread or figurative bread. Curtis Lewa is good. I like Curtis a lot. Guys, we're gonna do some Curtis events too. Curtis is kick-ass. I was undecided between Curtis and Zohran. I think both of them are love New York and care about disempowered people in their own way. But I think I can go for Zohran. But I like Curtis a lot. Maybe I'll go for Curtis because Zohran's going to win so easily. You may as well go for Curtis. And Curtis is not pro-Trump, which is a good thing. But yeah, you'll see a lot of Curtis coverage too. I got on Curtis's list, so I'm trying to get on Adams and Cuomo's list, so that's harder. But I'm on Curtis's list because Curtis is very accessible to the non-mainstream press, unlike other candidates. Already left in New York, says David, so they ain't getting my money. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Maybe we could finally pay rent. Has anyone ever heard of people desperate to escape capitalism? No. Fair point. Well, yes, desperate to escape capitalism in which the cities have completely priced them out. There's a big segment of people like that. It's interesting, go to Buffalo, New York. It's like there's a lot of people from New York City that live in Buffalo because they have a New York state wage. They can't live in New York City. So so that's escaping from an ideal capitalistic situation. You spelled demon rat wrong. I don't think I did. Starting with supermarket. Yeah, it'd be nice to get some free food, goddammit. I mean, you guys don't give me any fucking money, so I'm better vote for Zohran. If you're not giving me a super chat, I'm gonna vote for Zohran, bitches. When has a rent ever come down in New York, says Josh? Not for a long time. They're really good in the 70s. That's why I like burn it down. Shit. Make it like Detroit so it's a little more affordable. Get your own money. No, bitch, you give me money. Your mom will give me money. 99 Goat says, is it good that, yeah, 525 out of 535 of our congressmen are taking money from AIPAC. AIPAC? Be like, what's I don't know how to say IPAC. It's David Pack, but kidding. Yeah, some bullshit, isn't it? The left is cooked. I don't think so. I think there's a lot of, well, we'll go inside so you can look at the attendance. But there's a lot of enthusiasm here. And people keep trying to destroy Zohran. It doesn't seem to be working. I was interviewing people here today. Did anybody care that the head of the Democratic Party didn't endorse Zohran? Nobody gives a shit. So they try to throw everything they can at the kitchen sink, but it ain't working. The left is done.
Governor Hochul, stop wage theft and enforce the labor law. Join us on October 8th. Big rally at the Parliament. Thank you.
Somebody says Mooch, the left died when Charlie died. I don't think Charlie had much to do with the left. Maybe he did, but I doubt it. Dodge, like the car. Dodge Landesman.
Dodge.
Yeah, I could write, if you got a pen, I could write it down.
I'll just follow you.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks for the follow.
Dodge, man.
Yeah, it's a weird name. It's a small YouTube. I just have like 10,000 subscribers.
That's
But,
pretty good.
thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that, right? Compared to a lot of other people, it's not awful. D-O-D-G-E.
D-O-D-G-E.
Space L-A-N.
Oh, Lens.
Yep, there I am.
First result.
Cool. All right, cool. I guess I'm doing better than I thought. I'm glad you looked that up.
You humble yourself.
Oh, I'm at 11,000 now? Yeah. Am I really at 11,000? Oh, well, I think I gained like 200 subscribers just from this. Oh, cool. I'm at 11,000. All right. Now I'll say I have 11,000 and not 10,000. Cool. And again, yeah, you're welcome. And now we still got 250 people watching. I just want people to go to this if they want to advocate for Chinatown. Call this number, email this, to try to eliminate the 24-hour workday.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for the good work. You're not quitting. I admire that.
Yeah, never quitting.
You're here all day. Gonna say hello. Long time no see. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Been a while.
Yes, it has.
Think
what
like
are you
what?
up to?
I have a YouTube these days. So yeah, I did TV news with Michael. Good to see you. Good. Been a while. I used to work in TV news, and then oddly enough, I got fired for talking about Scientology, the cult with Tom Cruise. But I got a big following from everybody who hates Scientology, and so now I make more with the YouTube than I did. I made nothing with the TV. I made like $50,000 a year, but I do better at least with that than I did with this than I do with the TV news. So it's been interesting. It's been a wild ride.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So how do we find your YouTube?
Oh, thank you for your interest. If you just search my name, Dodge Landesman, because I have such a
Okay.
weird, uncommon name, you'll be able to find it. So I do a lot of court cases. I started with a lot of Scientology court cases, but I've branched out, and then I wanted to do some election stuff, so I came back here to cash the town hall and film some Zohran stuff. And kind of have a big reunion. It's fun to see everybody.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. Now, are you still state committee?
No. So I ran for that. I didn't make it, sadly.
Ever?
No.
I
I
thought
ran.
you
I
did.
lost by about 4%.
Oh,
So it's big. So
okay.
it was interesting. It was me versus Chris.
Oh, that's pathetic.
Right.
Losing for such a shit-ass little office.
Exactly, right? I'm like, if I can't do that, I think about, well, hey, you did a great job at the position. Lee Berman got 33%, Chris Marte got 30, I got 28. So we're all
So where
next
are
to
you
each
living
other.
now?
Now I travel 10 months a year all across the country, but my mom has a place in Putnam County, an hour north of here.
Oh.
So I take the train in and out. It's a schlep.
That's where you vote from?
Yes, yeah, that's where I vote from, which is good because it's competitive. That's Lawler's district.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
yes.
So a good place to vote in, if nothing else.
Well, and hopefully you on YouTube with the following could attract some folks up in Putnam County. And
Yeah,
make a
good idea.
difference
That's a
there.
plan too. Yeah.
So
I was
you
thinking
know.
about doing. That's what I was going to do the last 2 weeks. Is
Yeah.
go to whoever's running against Lawler, go to their stuff, or even the last month, and try to generate people in that neck of the woods. And because I have like 11,000 subscribers, so it's a bit of a base. So even if an extra 400 people are watching something, might be an extra 20 people to actually come in person.
Yes,
So
yeah.
it's a good idea. I've thought about that a little bit, but glad you reminded me of that.
But so traveling 10 months of the year.
Kind of crazy. Yeah. So I was in
Where are you
LA.
going?
LA was a lot of it because Scientology's based there.
Oh, sure.
So
sure.
LA was a big part
You
of
really
it.
have it in with Stein.
I do.
I'm glad somebody does.
Right. Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
I-
I'm glad you see the reality.
I
of it.
ran into them years ago at Cornell.
Oh,
back
that's
in
so you had a little
the-
interaction.
in the
Interesting.
70s, and
Interesting.
oh God.
Well,
Good.
I had-
So your radar went off.
I had 2 encounters with them, and my cousin Jerry actually spent some time
Yeah.
with them.
I didn't spend time with him.
Well,
I gave him no time at all.
he kind of was enrolled and tried to
Right.
recruit me.
Right. Yeah.
But,
Okay, so tried that
but then
too.
he
Interesting.
let that go. But I was walking down Upper West Side, and you know they place really good-looking people on the
Yes,
street,
they're very. They still
okay?
do that in LA. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
very tactful
Yeah,
about that.
and
Yeah.
so he
And
walks
of
up.
course they have Cruz and Travolta.
Right.
and-
Right. Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so he said, you know, and I can't remember where I was going, but I had some time on my hands. And of course, I had already gotten some line on Scientology.
Right,
as bad
interesting.
news.
Yeah,
And he
interesting.
said, hey, what are you doing? Would you like to kind of talk to us? Are there issues in your life that are like
Be that sympathetic
just,
ear.
you know? And I
Funny.
said, yeah. I mean, I was totally honest. And he said, do you have like some time? And I decided, let me check this out. And so I took
I got you
this,
for a second.
this kind of, so I went to some apartment on the Upper West Side.
Oh, so
And-
they actually had it like in an apartment.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yes.
Huh.
They had, you know, it wasn't an office.
Right.
And
Oh, that's
I took-
different.
I took this like, dislike, no, yes, all of this, and then he comes back and he takes the test, and he charts me and my negativity, my potential
Wow.
positivity.
Wow.
I was looking at these
No, I was
mountains
holding
of
down.
feelings.
They had some kind of a machine, if I remember.
That's
Anyway.
why. That's interesting.
Anyway,
They
he said to me,
measured all the levels.
we can get you to so much of a better place. And of course,
Right. So
I
they really sold
already
you on
knew.
that. Yeah.
But you know, it was like he was trained to have this
Right. Very
hypnotic
relaxed. Right. Almost making you fall
tone.
asleep. Yeah.
Almost
Yeah.
hypnotic
Making you feel
tone.
safe. Yeah.
And
Interesting.
you know, and any reluctance was like a fear that he could assure. It was
Right.
it was
Right.
really Svengali personified. Very
Right.
very impressive.
So you were impressed early on, like that first thing. You felt very relaxed and comfortable at that. Interesting.
Well, I knew the deal, you
Right,
know.
but you did- you're right.
But
Funny.
it was interesting to see how the
How it does in action,
operational,
yeah. Right,
you know,
see it in action, yeah.
process. But anyway, besides LA,
Fascinating.
where are you?
So, and then I was in Vancouver. I covered the election in Canada for a whole month, which is
Okay.
interesting, which is a lot of fun. And then where'd I go from there? I'm trying to remember. I covered a case, so then I went up. I covered a case in Boston, and then in Upper New York, there's like a murder trial. So I went like almost near Montreal.
Oh, okay.
And then there's like and then there was an early hearing that I was at in Rochester, because Trump is trying to bring the National Guard in there too, and there's a lot, and ICE enforcement. So I did that hearing as well, and there's another ICE enforcement one in Buffalo. And I thought that was an interesting thing because there have been a lot of news about the big cities that have had this, but the smaller cities are really getting bullied. And and I thought it was that's where I kind of had like a unique niche to actually show up and say, hey, this is happening in Buffalo and Rochester, and so that was kind of interesting and informative. Yeah, so kind of all over.
I am so glad that you're out there doing
Thank you. Hey, Mr. Speaker. How many times I got to run into you? It's my former opponent, Chris Marte. Oh, good. How are you? Good to see you. You're looking sharp. You gonna win for Speaker? You got my support. Non-elite Democrat for Speaker. That's new. I like it.
We're gonna go inside.
I'll let you go, and I'll probably go inside too. Good to see you. Yeah, let's catch up at some point.
Keep it up.
Yeah, thank you.
You probably have my number.
Yeah, I have all your info. Yeah. We were in the trenches together. I hold on to that forever. Well, yeah, let's catch up. That'll be great. Good to see you guys.
I just wanted to ask a little bit of
Okay, guys, I'm gonna head in soon. Oh yeah, look, a lot of new people subscribed. Thank you for subscribing. I'm gonna grab a quick smoke. I got to see my former opponent. Did I get to see two people? Today I saw two people I ran against for office. Is that my teacher? She's very cool. It would be cool if she was your teacher. These people are consumers, says T. Schwarber. They never produce anything of value. That's why I look up to Zohran, because I haven't had a job. I've lived off my rich parents, and I think I too can become mayor. I haven't done shit with my life, and I think I could be mayor. I'm kidding. Zohran's done some stuff. He was good at the assembly. Prayers to New York City says, cool deep, hard times coming. I think they'll be all right. This guy needs state-run dental. Oh, that's not nice. Well, see, so that's why elections are going to be good. That was a big issue in Canada. Canada, they're talking about access. They had access to health care, but they didn't have access to dental care. Stop scaring this woman. Apparently, I was scaring somebody. Speak your petty opinions to somebody. I don't know what that means. GW, your comment made me laugh, but I'm not going to read it. John Call says Mamdani is a scam. He couldn't rap, and now he scams. He was not good at rapping. I was a rapper. If you look up Ice-T's rap school, I was probably worse than Mamdani. Sounds like a Muppet, somebody says. AT says stop crying, vote for Curtis. Curtis is not a bad vote. I like Curtis. You'll see me cover Curtis later on, probably tomorrow. I can almost smell the failure. Well, he's going to win, bitch. Suck it. You sound like a Scientologist. All right. I'm very insulted. I'm going to hurt myself. Another hobo. That might be me. Give me a goddamn super chat. People don't learn a thing from 8-year-old Obama. Disturbance you're about to experience all over again, including the scandals, says Tommy. My favorite scandal is the Tucker Carlson one, where Tucker was like, yeah, let's have on this super ugly dude who did coke with Obama and had a gay relationship with him. For sure. I might head in there soon, guys. Unless you want to talk some more shit. Zohran can't even bench 100 pounds. LMAO. Who gives a fuck? Adams did. Did it mean anything? Canada's healthcare is great, not perfect. Word. Is that the Palestinian mayor for NYC, says FFLS. Some people think he is. I don't think he is, but this is for Zohran. He's one that laughs at assassinations of people who he disagrees with. Hey, long time no see.
Blast from the past. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Been a while.
It's been
You still advocating for UFT and all the kids? And yeah, you haven't quit.
Yeah. I started my own school for nonprofit. So.
Oh, cool.
So we're doing big things.
And I got a YouTube, Naomi. If anybody wants to advocate for any organizations that you're a part of, hey Lois, good to see you. It's like a big reunion. What should they follow?
LiteracyAcademyCollective.org.
Okay, cool. What's on the agenda for you in the future?
Opening more dyslexia schools.
Good for you.
In New York City and beyond.
How many press junkets have you done at this point in the last 6 months?
Way too many.
Yeah, you've been everywhere. You've done good in each and every one of them.
Yeah.
So well done.
Doing the Lord's work.
It's not easy. There's a lot of people fighting against you.
It's always fighting.
Well, I'll see you in there. Catch up. Good to see you. How have you been?
Good. How about you?
Good. I was in West Virginia like a year ago. I thought of you. I was kind of close to you because you're from Elkins.
Yeah, my mother.
Yeah. I can't remember what town was it might have been. It was like Romney near there, something like that. Where I was.
I have a cottage near in Somersville.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So if you're ever in Somersville,
thank
call
you.
me.
Yeah, I'd love to. It'd be great to catch up.
Because you know, there's a lot of stuff to do around there. I have a cottage. I have 2 big
Cool.
beds.
Anything I can do to help out?
I have 2 big beds.
Oh, I love
and
that.
If one of them's free, it's yours.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm
That'd be
not
great.
kidding. Do you have
That'd
my
be
number
great.
still?
I don't. Let me take it down again. I was going out to LA. I stopped there. I took like an 8-month trip to LA. You're welcome to get that. Don't let me keep you. I like it. Could be spam. And yeah, now I have a YouTube, so I interview people. I'm interviewing people outside this event. So I cover court cases all across the country. So I stopped there on the way. I think I covered something in DC. So I stopped along the way from LA when I was taking this long trip. But yeah, and then I had you on mute and off camera, but generally I'm filming. I don't know if you want to talk, and I hear you.
Sure, yeah. I gotta figure this out.
I don't blame you. It's complicated.
I don't want to real.
Yeah, so some people think he's a little extreme. Yeah. Some people think he's a little extreme, See,
I don't know.
you're one of them, yeah. So you're interested. So have you decided who you're going to vote for, or are you keeping an open mind?
Huh? I'm keeping an open mind.
Okay. You're leaning towards anybody, or no?
I like Sliwa.
I like Sliwa too. A lot of people. He's a real New Yorker.
I know.
He's a real New Yorker. His
cares
heart's in the
about
right
the
place.
city.
He's not pro-Trump.
No.
So yeah, a lot of people. I mean, there's a lot. I think a lot of hidden people who like sleepwalking.
And I have, like I was vice president of the ID for
Right.
2 years, so I have
Yeah.
to like whisper this. Okay, I'm gonna whisper to you, and don't you dare.
No, I won't. I'll beat you. I liked him. I liked our occasion here a lot too. Yeah.
I love what he's doing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love what he's doing. So I really confuse people on Facebook because I'm always posting good stuff about him.
Right. You're an independent thinker.
Huh?
You're an independent thinker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. That's all I do. Yeah, I love that. Appreciate it. Well, I'll probably follow you in there because it's probably almost time.
Call me so I have
Yeah,
you
yeah,
till
definitely.
6:30, I think.
Oh, it's not until 6:30? Oh, okay. I'll stay out a little longer. Oh, I thought it was 6. Did he delay it a little bit?
Go check.
Okay, I'll
I thought
check.
It was 6.
You-
but someone just said 6:30.
You might be right because usually they'll like always delay it. Yeah, I'll come back. I can smoke a cigarette. Anyway, I need to catch my breath for a second. I keep running into people I know. So yeah, there's a lot of hidden FLIWA support, I suppose. Catch up on what people say. Put a 1 if you want me to record Zohran's remarks. Put a 2 if you don't care, because it'll be recorded elsewhere. Probably with better picture, but well. Arthur, good to see you. Remember me? Been a while. Keep up the good work. It's nice that your side is winning.
Growing up.
Growing up, slowly but surely. That's Arthur Schwartz. He was, any of you guys remember the Acorn fiasco, where they attacked Obama for the Acorn stuff. That guy was the head attorney. Fun fact. I ran against him very briefly. It's weird going back to this area because I realized how many people I ran against. Tom Scott says hi from Vancouver, Washington. Hello, Tom. Put a 1 in the chat if you want me to record Zohran's remarks. Put a 2 if you don't care. Jim Rat says you're all a bunch of fucking coward ass pussies. I like your mom's coward ass pussy. 1. All right, cool. I got someone. KT is angry because Mamdani refused to bow to the to the Jewish lobby. Yeah, he won't bow to the Jewish lobby. Zohran is your daddy. I wish her that rich. 2. Brad does not give a fuck. Blue is built on lies. Dude, come on. Well, I'm allowed to talk shit. This is my page, bitch. Hey, Amy. Not a fan of Zohran, but I don't live in New York. I'm sorry to hear that. You'll never get it. Midnight Cat. We're too far gone. I don't know what they'll tell. What's up? Is KT spamming? KT's fine. Zohran. Oh, you're allowed to talk. Look, you guys, this is an open chat. You're allowed to talk shit. Nobody will be banned unless you say a very inappropriate word. You know what that word is. As long as you don't say that word, you'll not be banned. I'll even read your comment. KT says Zohran wasn't born in the U.S., so he shouldn't have any power here. He doesn't need to be born in the U.S. to be mayor, so. Dumb comment. Byron said, Trump, Mr. Trump. Zohran is no daddy until you pull up, kid. Word. You guys are something else in this chat today, aren't you? You guys better subscribe. Subscribe to my OF. I charge $300 for my OF. I'm kidding. But give me a super chat. Now you get to see what I look like. I look disgusting. I hate myself. Hey, appreciate you at least allow all opinions to be down people. Thank you, Kudli. I appreciate it.
Wow. Okay,
What is your name?
Margaret, you're wrong about Sliwa Grok. Some sources claim Trump endorses you. I haven't heard that. Look at it. How you doing?
Can we see the hand snap?
Oh, yeah. Right here.
Great, thank you.
I might get a seat, guys. I guess we'll just talk with you. Yeah, I'll say hi to Eric Boscher. He's a councilman. Yeah, it's a big turnout. Big turnout. Long time no see. How you been? Been a while. Like what, half a decade? Yeah. Too long. See you, Andy. So yeah, this is the vibe, guys. Trump Putin door should begin relatively soon. hopefully within 3 or 4 minutes. I think it's probably the best time to get a seat somewhere where I can actually sit near Kenny. I wonder if I should end the stream and resume or not. Sorry, Arthur. No, I'm just trying to get. They might be reserving. Curtis over here. They got Curtis. No, it was a good event. Well attended. I'm trying to figure out where to sit. I'll find something. Tell me if I should resume. You got your seat already. So you want to tell people watching for my YouTube a little about yourself. You were part of the Stonewall Rebellion, one of the original OGs.
I was arrested.
You were arrested, yeah? Yeah, you were. Yeah.
Some people claim they were there. It's very suspicious that they get the details.
Right.
If anybody wants to know was I really there, there's historical evidence.
There's proof. I've seen it. Yeah. I always wonder, do you think there are more people saying they were there at the Twin Towers during 9/11 when they weren't, or more saying they were there at Stonewall when they weren't? I feel like it's like neck and neck.
Probably Woodstock and 9/11.
Right.
Because it's a larger population.
Right.
Population
Yes.
is relatively small.
Yes.
Experts estimate it to be around 5%.
Right.
Whereas
smaller back then, right?
Woodstock people or 9/11 people, etc., is huge. So just from the numbers alone, that's the answer.
I like it. I like it. And who do you like for mayor? You have a candidate yet, or are you keeping an open mind?
Oh, definitely Zohran.
So you're teasing, and do you like Zohran in the primary?
I went with my party's recommendation.
Okay.
But I did like it.
But you like Brown? Okay, cool. Very cool. Well, they're shepherding us, but we'll talk. And hey, email me. We'll catch up. All right.
Will do.
Good to see you. All right, guys, get in our seats. I'm gonna try to find an outlet if I can. That might be wishful thinking. Oh, here's an outlet. Sweet. All right, guys, I gotta charge my phone a little bit, if I may. All right, guys, I might, put it one if I should end the stream and return it when, if I should return it when he's actually speaking, because now I'm just sitting like an asshole. But we're at historic inflation rate, says Bobby, and keep printing money. We could barely afford to take care of the roads, let alone. Sorry, guys, give me a quick moment.
Raise your hand because we've got folks on the risers who I'm sure would love to be in a comfortable chair in the back.
All right, we're starting, guys.
Pass it on to Reverend Anne Marie, who's going to welcome you to the church. Thank you, Anne Marie.
Okay, good evening. Welcome.
Mind if I sit? You're right if I sit? I like your shirt. Sure.
We know it's warm.
Oh, shit. Mindy, do you want to sit? You can sit. Do you want to sit? Am I stealing your seat? You are stealing your seat.
You're
forgiven. I'll sit next to you. I'll like kneel next to you though.
We have deep roots in the community, one arts and social justice and civic engagement. You're always welcome.
Oh, thank you. I'll tell you. Appreciate it.
So thank you, volunteers. And now over to Layla, who's the organizer.
So Layla ran for state assembly. She's cool. She didn't make it, but she put up a good fight.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you all for coming. This is amazing. We have a packed room. Good evening. I'm Layla. Lalo Gisiko, and on behalf of the Downtown Democratic Coalition, I want to really thank you for packing the house, in the room, and on the live stream tonight for this really important event. First, our thanks go to our host venue, St. Mark's Church, Pastor Aaron Witcher, as well as staff for graciously opening up their doors to us. It is really important that we can count on the generosity to have these conversations. Deep appreciation also to all the co-sponsoring Democratic clubs and allies who helped put this event together. You and all the members and volunteers that represent are the life and soul of our democratic engagement. We cannot do it without you. And I want to mention all the groups that were part of this organizing event. Chelsea Reform Democratic Club, Coalition for District Alternative, Downtown Independent Democrats, Downtown Lasky Women's Social Group, Street Democrats, Green Commission Democrats, Village Independent Democrats,
Get it to you.
Independent Democrats, United Democratic Organization, Manhattan Democrats, which is all of us. NYU Democrats, and Manhattan Young Dems. I want to thank all the volunteers, many of you who have volunteered campus hours, and including volunteers who are here tonight and who are helping with making this possible. We want to recognize our elected officials who are in attendance tonight. We want to thank them for joining us. We're joined by Assembly Member and the Democratic nominee for
That's for you, Tom.
Councilmember Marte.
Marte!
Our State Senator Tom Duane. About the event and the format. After a very brief introduction by our City Council representatives, I promise us it's going to be brief, our Democratic nominee for mayor, Zohran Mamdani, is going to give us a 5-minute opening remarks. And then we'll move into our Q&A, and it will be moderated by our fantastic moderators, Ayo Harrington of Kodak, and many of you. So today's questions were crafted by our committee, and they drew from well over 100 submissions that we received through all of you members and our downtown communities. The questions are pointed by design, and we expect clear and specific answers. Our moderators may ask follow-ups to actually get to the how and not just the what. Despite this, we know that due to limited time, some of our questions will not be addressed today and not on stage, but we make the commitment that we will get an answer from the campaign on all these issues that are so important and so crucial to downtown residents. So the other, I'm sorry, I got lost on my pages. So after this Q&A session, the candidate will obviously respond to all these questions. What I want to say is a few words about, let me actually move to this, a few words about the format of tonight. I'm sorry about that. Okay, sorry. So tonight, rules of the house, basic common sense. Civility is non-negotiable, okay? So please silence your phones, keep the eyes clear, and please refrain from interruptions. No disruption will be tolerated, period. And if you do disrupt, you will be asked to leave. Let's make sure that we make this a productive space for our civic engagement. The stakes are just too high for anything else. So with all of that, please help me welcome our first speaker, Assembly Member Harvey Epstein.
Thank you, Leila. And I know in a room disruptors. It might be hard for us not to erupt or disrupt, but I think what we're trying to do is hear from our Democratic nominee and hear about the issues and his vision of the future of our city that we love so dearly. And I've been proud to, it's my 8th year in the Assembly, and proud to have continued to be a colleague with Assembly Member Mamdani for the last 4. We have real problems in this city. We all know that. We need to come up with comprehensive solutions. And that's what this campaign is about, that's what the momentum is about, and that's what we're here to listen about. So please, listen to these answers, and then all of us need to get involved, because there are forces who we all know who represent big money interests who are trying to fight us right now. They're trying to fight us on every level. And it is our opportunity and responsibility to fight together to make sure this city is what we believe in, a progressive vision that we fight for. But this is our moment. We have 6 weeks till this campaign. We're going to hear a lot tonight. But I hope one thing you take away from this is your activism over the next 6 weeks to ensure that Zohran is elected our next mayor, and we are fighting for the vision that we need for New York. Thank you all, and I'm proud to thank you. I'm proud to bring up a friend who represents a district a little further east of mine, council member and my good friend, Eric Botcher.
Make some noise for Assembly Member Harvey Epstein.
Eric Botcher, he might run for Congress for Jerry Nadler's seat.
So I am so excited tonight to welcome our party's nominee for mayor to this room, which is filled with the activist core of Lower Manhattan. You in this room are the driving force behind democratic progressive politics in New York City, and you have been for years. The people that I'm looking at in this room, I've watched you knock on doors in 2008, in 2012, in 2016, 18, 20, 22, 24, postcards. I give a shout out to the postcard groups and phone calls. And you did because you saw what we've all seen is creeping fascism in the United States of America. And now fascism, we had some wins. We had some really big wins in recent years. But now fascism is banging on our door in New York City, and we don't have a chief executive in our city helping us fight back. We have a mayor who's colluded with Trump, not protecting us. Meanwhile, today, Donald Trump openly says, he has the right to take the license away from any network that criticizes him. Another line crossed. So we have the opportunity to elect someone who will be on the front lines with us in the fight against fascism. So I'm voting tonight that she secured the Democratic nomination because we have to come together as Democrats after primaries and get behind our nominee. That's what we must do as Democrats, or we will not win. Am I right?
Yes, it's not.
All of the organizers for tonight's meeting, I'm sure this didn't take any work at all. It just happened. Thank you all, and let's welcome our nominee when he gets here and get out there between now and November 4th.
Eric Botcher. We're actually still waiting for our mayoral nominee. He's on his way. So as we wait for him to arrive, please continue chatting among yourselves. Start devising on how you're going to get out the vote, how you're going to deploy your organizers. We're going to need a all hands on deck campaign to support the Democratic nominee. Zohran Mamdani, and as soon as he arrives, we'll get this show on the road.
Well, I guess he's late, which is not surprising if you're running for mayor, but...
He was actually going to wait a little bit for more dramatic entrance, but listen, by popular demand.
Yeah, you tell me? I'm kind of confused. Oh, God, I'll read some of your comments. What the hell are you evil people saying?
So, you can start actually thinking about how your groups, your organizations, your clubs are going to start organizing the GOTV. If you have events that are planned, if you have canvassing plan, GOTV, you actually have literature at the back for the campaign, and
Hey, Miss Boylan, I voted for you. Just want to say thank you for kicking ass and standing up to Cuomo. You're a huge part of his failing. My name is Dodge, like the car. It's great and important. Thank you. I hope you run in the future. I'll be there for you 100%. Yes, that's true. And you're a part of it. Honor to meet you. Keep up the good work. Of course. She is cool. She ran against, she used to work for Cuomo and was one of the first people to like speak out against him. Lindsay Boylan. What is this? Are we praising the Lord? We're in a church. This is a Zohran Mamdani town hall. We're waiting for Zohran to show up. He's a little late. He's like 10 minutes late, give or take. So I'm just talking like an asshole, trying to fill space. I hope you like my annoying voice. I hope you give me a super chat. Check out my OF. Donald T says so many shameless, shameful people. That's what Donald feels. Justin doesn't have a job. Come on, man. Don't mess with Zohran. Wah, wah. That's my life. Life. I'm a piece of shit. I hate myself. Evil GPT says, what is this? Oh, I read that. Because I'm working and could be here in prison. You could be in prison. That's so true. Aren't you all glad we're not in prison? Could be a lot worse. Read Justin Beta Boy. I don't know what that means. What are any of you saying? No King's Day. Oh, thank you, Margaret. I didn't know that. October 18th.
I'll probably go to No King's Day. Oh, I got sleepy.
Give me a minute, guys. Let's have to check the schedule for something. Don't leave. I'm going to be back in 15 seconds. All right. I need to leave at like 7. I need to leave at like 8 o'clock. I love myself. I bought new underpants. Hey, try new Depends. Special link, special promo, try Depends. Promo code Dodge Depends, 20% off. See, that's the thing. When I play tennis, when I am walking around all day in New York City, going from meeting to meeting, I'm going to shit myself. And that's why I choose Depends. Again, special promo code 20% off Depends. Use Dodge, promo code Dodge on Depends. Tom says, ironic, the comedy is in the church. Okay. Byron says, when the people are laughing at somebody being murdered and cheering, that is evil. I don't know if anybody's laughing at that. Not hard to hang up, man. What? They speak New American. I don't know what any of you are talking about. I'm sorry people are attacking you. Guys, chat bots, don't attack Justin. And also Depends.com. Use code Dodge, 20% off your Depends. Wow, my entire comment was erased. I didn't delete any comments, Midnight Cat. People from within them be condemned by all. I could take it. I'm glad, Justin. Guys, please do subscribe. And again, 20% off Depends. Let's see. See who else saying. Alexis says, guys, she's not big enough to make it to the game. So much better than I thought. It would be nice to have you in my. What? Aw, Lifeline says, don't hate yourself. I don't. I actually don't. Nessa says, you are broken now and faith can heal you. Just do everything.
Alright, guys, thank you so much for your patience. I know you guys here.
Good to meet you. Keep up the good work.
Our Councilmember Chris Marte. It's my pleasure to introduce him. Councilmember Marte.
How's everyone doing?
Woo! Love you, Chris!
I ran against this dude once upon a time. He beat me by 4%. He beat my ass.
Because of the people right in front of me, the people who hold democracy true downtown. We all saw the news this morning. Fascism is creeping everywhere.
He's a good speaker.
It's creeping in our immigration courts. It's creeping in our late night television screens. It's everywhere. But there's one thing that I know. The people in front of me are used to this fight. Because ironically, we have won this fight in the past. When you look at real estate developers taking advantage and buying every election up and down the ballot, it's people in front of me who fight back. It's the people in front of me who go to meetings and say, no, we need 100% affordable housing in our community. We need to save our community gardens, the birthplace of the civil rights movement in New York City. We have retirees who are actually fighting against Democrats to protect their own health care. So when I look in front of me today, I don't see people who came into this room clueless. I see fighters looking for a leader to follow, to fight with arm in arm, to have someone that knows that even our most vulnerable New Yorkers, whether they're home attendants working 24 hours a day without any rest and not getting paid, they're going to be with them. Whether it's delivery workers who are rushing from point A to point B to get pennies to the dollars of what they're worth. To make sure that tenants who are being evicted tonight and tomorrow are going to trust in our government. Because that's how we fight fascism. In the rest of the country, we see the lack of trust in the Democratic Party. And we know why. We see it crumble here at home too. You guys sometimes are the only institution that folks candidates for. You guys are the only institution that stands up to fight for everyone in your party, in your neighborhood, and in your city. You guys are the ones that commute to Philadelphia, to Long Island, to upstate to make sure that people know democracy is alive and is true and well. However, there's parts of this country where they haven't seen that in our party, where they have drifted away to the far right. But New York, we shoot our shot differently. We make our own way. And so instead of following the country, we found a leader who speaks truth to power. We have a leader who understands the trauma and the stress of being a tenant worker. We have a leader who's an immigrant and knows the fear that ICE brings not to family members, but to neighbors, classmates, to everyone in our community. We have a leader that when every other candidate was reading the same old lines, he spoke from his heart to our hearts. And so that's why I'm here today. Because I truly believe that this is the moment that we've all been waiting for. We've all been fighting this fight for a really long time. And we finally got it right. And so, with my heart, with my heart, I am proud to introduce and endorse the next mayor of New York City, Zohran Mamdani!
And he's finally coming.
Good evening, everyone. It is such a pleasure to be here. I have to say that is one of the best ways to walk into a room. Chris's endorsement is incredible. And I want to say thank you to Councilmember Marte, and I want to say thank you to my colleague in the State Assembly, Senator Tony Simone, City Council Member Eric Botcher, part of this coalition, and it is a joy to be here alongside elected officials who've been on the front lines of the fight that we speak about, the fight for the dignity of working people across the city. And it's a joy to be here with all of the clubs that have for so many New Yorkers been the example of what democracy looks like in their own lives, in their own neighborhoods. It's not some far-off value or ideal of a race very far away. It's about the fights that happen right in our own neighborhoods. It's about the races that many cannot name until they are told. It's about the people that you stop on the street when you ask them to sign a petition, when you knock on the door, ask them to consider a candidate. And when I think about having a town hall downtown Manhattan, I also think about the many memories I have of downtown Manhattan over the time that I've been in New York. I was born in Uganda, East Africa. I moved to New York. Didn't expect some claps for Uganda, we'll always have. And I moved to New York City when I was 7 years old, and I grew up in Morningside Heights. And downtown New York has been some of my favorite moments of being a New Yorker. It's where I got my citizenship. It's where I got married to my wife. And it's also some of the places where I felt the most afraid of what it means to be a New Yorker in this moment. Where I stood outside 26 Federal Plaza as I said goodbye to my father and he went in for an interview for his citizenship. And I got on the phone with a lawyer to prepare to write a pro se because I didn't know if I would see him again. It's a place where I know that many New Yorkers go through that same experience. Saying goodbye to a family member, loved one, and not knowing when they will see them. And the contradictions of this one place, the contradictions of those few blocks, those are also the contradictions of our politics today. A moment where we feel immense hope at the possibility of what this city could be, and a real reckoning with the dangers that so many among us are facing from this right-wing authoritarian administration. And it is in this very moment that we need leadership that is clear-eyed about the need to fight back against Washington,
Good for you,
D.C.,
Tyler.
and also fight for
Keep up the good work.
You've
done a lot.
We have to do both. And so to be here to share
It's a hard
with you
job.
our
I've done that,
agenda,
Tyler. Good job.
one that will, in the
It's a
way
very
that your
hard job.
work does, fulfill the very meaning of democracy as something that is to be protected, as something that is responsive to the needs of working people, and as something that works best as a partnership alongside other elected officials at the city, the state, and the federal level. It is a joy, it is a privilege, and I look forward to the conversation. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Assemblyman, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. We have a lot of questions, but we want to have a real conversation. So, even though there is no time limit and it won't cut you off, we'd love if you could try to keep your answers to 3 or 4 minutes if you can. And for the first question, I'm going to kick it off to my co-moderator. Oh, I forgot. I'm Ben Yee with Downtown Independent Democrats.
I am Harrington with Coalition for Digital Jobs. Thank you so much, Ben. So, Assembly Member, you said that you're against mayoral control of schools. What do you think is a better model? How will it more fairly allocate resources in a highly segregated system? And how will you measure success?
First, I want to say thank you to both of you, the moderator, for being here. And this question gets to the heart of the school system we have here in New York City. It's the largest school system in the United States of America. And it's one where we've grown numb to the descriptions. We've grown numb to the fact that it's the 9th consecutive year of more than 100,000 children in that same system being homeless. We've grown numb to the fact that 500,000 children in this city go to sleep hungry every night. We've grown numb to the fact that it's the most segregated system in this country. And I've made critiques of mayoral control in the way that it has been practiced, most especially by this current mayoral administration, where it has been used as an excuse to not even engage sometimes with the needs of be it students, be it parents, be it teachers. There was a decision by Mayor Adams' one example that comes to mind, about the relocation of West Side High School. This was a relocation of a school from a building that was purposely built for that school. A school that was intended to serve New Yorkers who, for one reason or another, were less likely to graduate. Whether they be young parents, whether they be newly arrived, whatever it may be. And so it was quite literally a school that even had childcare facilities built into it. And in spite of all of this, in spite of 8 hours of testimony, all of the Adams appointees on PEP decided to pursue that pre-existing proposal and relocate the school elsewhere. And we've seen that the results of that have been at odds with what the intention was for that very school's existence in the first place. And I think that the question of segregation and outcomes, to me, a lot of this comes from, if we want equalized outcomes, we have to be prepared to provide equalized investments. And what that means to me is, Tony and I served in the state assembly. One of the fights I was most proud of when I first got to Albany, we fought to finally get into compliance with the campaign for this fight, to fully fund our public schools, as has been required by law for 8 years. And when we won that record funding, it felt as if it never quite got to the classrooms in New York City. I had so many constituents of mine tell me, I stood at the office and I feel the same. My kids feel the same, and a lot of that money was moved around. And so a lot of this also comes from, if you win money in Albany, you deliver it to the school, right? And the other things I would say is, on segregation, the School Diversity Advisory Group, they put together a number of recommendations from the previous administration, and I'm very interested in actually following through on the recommendations from middle and elementary school students, which would apply to the vast majority of them.
How would you change the structure of the school system?
I think the first is these SBAG recommendations. You're thinking about middle and elementary schools, admissions processes by which you actually allow students to become a part of it. That is,
Do you want to email me? I want to get
critical
this
part
rest
of what
list,
integration
but no
looks like.
pressure.
The other thing
Gmail.com.
is the DOE
It's really impossible to get on this press list.
of any agency in the state government. People usually say that as a pretext to justify cuts. I don't think that's what we should be looking for. But about $10 billion is spent every year on contracts with the DOE. That is money that we could be better spending to send back into the classroom so that we can actually see some of the outcomes that New Yorkers deserve. And those are outcomes that we also know it's not just about the ways in which we have classically thought about education, it's also the necessity of ensuring that when cuts come down the pipe, they're not used as justifications for cutting after school, for cutting so many of the same reasons why those children go to school in the first place.
Thank you. We move on to the next question.
Fantastic. You can applaud, it's fine. Well, now we're going to answer it. Something, the City Council has allocated $121 million to repair the Tony Dapolito Recreation Center. But the current administration has delayed and now plans to demolish it. How would you approach a situation like this, where commitments to provide a public resource is stalled and the community analogous is losing?
You know, Tony's story is also a story of fighting back against Robert Moses to save South Village. And I run a campaign with an incredible team, some of whom are here today, premised on the idea that we can hope for a better New York City. We can believe in our democracy's ability to deliver for working people. And I also know that I am coming to so many who have had experiences of betrayal time and time again. In this question, it's about a commitment that had been made that has since been walked back. And how can someone who is so excited about that more than $100 million commitment, about honoring the legacy of someone who fought for these very neighborhoods, how can that person continue to believe in democracy? if this is very serious.
I'm going to cover Sliwa
So
too.
it's quite clear to me that
I'll cover Sliwa tomorrow.
the important thing to do here is not just fulfill the promises you have made, but also do your best to fulfill the promises that have been made prior. And so with this question, me, it is working with the city council to ensure that we actually allocate the money that was promised, follow through on it.
So, racial and religious attacks continue to plague New York City. For example, against Muslims after 9/11,
Very good.
Black people during the Black Lives Matter protests, Asian Americans during COVID, the Hispanic community under this administration, and recently, the Jewish community. What specific policies will you implement to combat this ongoing problem?
You know, this is not an intellectual problem for New Yorkers. It is not a hypothetical. This is a day-to-day reality. And I'm coming here today to this town hall, having seen the news that a man from Texas was just arraigned for threatening to kill me and my family. And this has become a part of public life in this country. And I also know that a lot of the hatred that he spouted was a hatred based on my identity as a Muslim New Yorker. And a belief that there is no room for those such as myself in this city, in this country. And I will be proud to be the first immigrant mayor in generations of this city, and proud to tell the story of the city as a place where everyone belongs. It is not for anyone else to contest who gets to be a New Yorker. It is for a New Yorker to decide that themselves. And you know, the other thing that I'll say is there's so much more than you might imagine how New Yorkers are connected to this. And we are feeling that question, as you said, no matter your religious background, no matter your racial identity, you feel it in this moment. And the policies that are critical to also deliver on. I've spoken about increasing funding for hate crime prevention programming by 800%. To get to $26 million. And the reason that's critical is that we have sometimes succumbed to a belief that the passage of time equals progress. With each new generation, we will get further and further away from the horrors of the past. But if we do not teach that generation of those horrors, whatever they may be, they will not learn. They will not learn those same lessons. And so these proposals are about early intervention, they're about school bias training, they're about curricular interventions. You know, I was sitting with UJA and we were talking about the importance of curriculum and the importance of us having a curriculum across New York City that celebrates, for example, when we're thinking about fighting anti-Semitism, also having an affirmative vision that celebrates the beauty and the breadth of Jewish life for all New Yorkers to live. But these things go hand in hand. As we say, there is no room for anti-Semitism, for Islamophobia, for racism and bigotry of any kind. We also make the investments such that each and every child grows up in a city where they celebrate the differences that make this place so special, as opposed to learn of them through algorithms and means by which have no interest in a pluralistic vision of the society.
Moving right along, hospital deserts are growing, such as the area below 14th Street after the closures of St. Vincent's and Beth Israel. How will you ensure access to Tier 1 hospitals that are equipped to address complex medical cases?
Well, first I have to recognize that I forgot to mention the Jamal's Club right here first. First row. You know, the question of hospital closures. We are seeing fights that predate this horrific piece of legislation from Donald Trump. We also know that that legislation will only exacerbate these very conditions. The cuts that they threaten to our health system healthcare system across the city, across the state. They threaten to throw millions of New Yorkers off their health insurance. So there are a few things. The first is, I know this is the importance of a partnership at the federal level to push back on the timeline of these cuts and the way in which they will impact our state. That makes all the difference. The second is also working with our state partners. I'm proud to have the endorsement, not just of the elected officials that are here today, but also of Governor Kathy Hochul. I'm proud to have the endorsement from Taylor Napoli, to have Colonel General Chris James, and I say these names alongside Speaker Carl Hasty of the State Assembly because if you want to deliver for constituents, you have to be able to work together with those that have the power to do exactly that. And to fight back against the worst of these cuts will require us going boldly and ensuring that we are using every dollar at our disposal, whether we are speaking about reserves or the revenue raises that I've proposed, to fight back against Trump's vision, and also to understand that it was not Donald Trump that created all of these issues as it pertains to healthcare access, that some of them have predated him, and we have to recognize how that has happened, and the necessity of us to change our approach to healthcare such that we are not looking at privatization as the answer. We are instead looking at greater access for each and every worker.
Basic accessibility to New Yorkers with disabilities remains severely lacking. From broken sidewalks and missing curb cuts to the absence of essential audio visual cues at intersections, which are daily barriers to mobility and more so to dignity. What policies would you enact to change this?
You know, the last time I think I saw Councilmember Bonner was when we were racing the M34. We won. And I bring this up because for many disabled New Yorkers, the bus system is the most accessible form of public transit. And yet it is the slowest bus system in the entire country. So when we talk about accessibility, we also have to ensure that accessibility is paired with excellence and reliability, such that we are not asking disabled New Yorkers to suffer through an 8-mile-an-hour average speed when they know that so many cities across the country have managed this. So part of this is also investing such that those services are excellent, they are reliable, they're the ones you would choose no matter. And that's why a cornerstone of our campaign is a pledge to make these same buses fast and to make them free. And fast because clearly the speed is slower than many of us who are late to work on the walk. And free because we know that the active fare collection is one that it's not just relevant to the 1 in 5 New Yorkers who cannot afford $2.90. It also has an influence on the safety of that bus. We've seen that if you eliminate fare collection, you reduce assaults on bus drivers by 38.9%. You enable the use of all-door boarding, front and back. When Michelle Wu did it in Boston, they reduced dwell time at a bus stop on Route 28 by 23%. Part of that is because you don't have to stand in line searching for your phone, trying to get the right scan, looking for your metric card, or the days when we put our coins in, you just board. And that is one part of a vision for a city where to be disabled is not to experience a substandard of that same quality of life. The other is also the policies and the tools. Right? OPWDD should have rate setting abilities. Right? These are some of the ways in which we can ensure that when you're asking for care, you're compensating the entirety of that cost. I think also Medicaid reimbursement rates. These are critical parts of what it means to look at disability justice. And what I've also really appreciated over the course of the primary campaign especially, is these are questions that have been posed to me also through the lens of not just the question of buses, healthcare, even just the question of the arts. How will you empower disabled workers to be artists across the city? And the necessity of fulfilling line items that previously previously have been made commitments and then swallowed into larger buckets of money where those same New Yorkers never get access.
Thank you. Thank you for that answer.
This is a big one. Affordable housing is a huge issue. What are your specific plans to fund large-scale, long-term, affordable and public housing in Lower Manhattan? Are you planning to use community land trust, Mr. Llamas, HDFCs, public housing, social housing, or some other model? And how will you avoid displacement?
We have to pursue all of the above. And I say that in sincerity. All of these models are models that we have seen be successful in providing stability in people's lives. And, you know, I've spent much of the campaign speaking about rent-stabilized housing. About 2.5 million New Yorkers live in rent-stabilized apartments. And I've talked about freezing the rent for those tenants for 4 years. There are about, we can also talk. There are about 6 million other New Yorkers who call this city home. What is the housing policy for them? 1 million are homeowners. And I've spoken about how affordability is not simply a tenant issue. It's also an issue if you own your home, you feel that affordability in the city raising the water bill, the highest it's been in 13 years. You feel that affordability in the city supporting Con Edison. They wanted to raise gas and electric by $65 a month, and they did. You feel that lack of affordability through the continuation of a broken property tax system that we know only the mayor can put forward a proposal for in Albany, given the scale of that. And I've also talked about the need to build affordable housing. And affordable defined less by questions of AMI and more by the median household income in New York City, which is a family of $4,000 to $70,000. And I've spoken about building 200,000 homes over the next 10 years, and to do so by scaling up the public sector, by scaling up HPD specifically, their construction capacity. There are programs within HPD, some of them have been merged into new names, but they used to go by the names of ELA, Extremely Low-Level Affordability, SAR, Senior Affordable Rental Apartments. These exist, these programs, but it needs to build at such a scale that New Yorkers can actually have a chance to live in these apartments at scale that we are not seeing today. And the last thing is, I was speaking earlier about betrayal and commitments and how to inspire faith once again in our democracy. And knowing that there is no one sector that has a monopoly on failing New Yorkers. The public sector has made promises and is broken. The private sector has made promises and is broken. And I think your last question was, how do you prevent displacement? Part of this is by ensuring that every promise that is made around this construction are promises that are kept, and you ensure that not only by using the leverage you have as someone who has been described as having the largest bully pulpit in this country after the president, but also all of the tools you have within the agencies.
Thank you.
Now, do you support moving the planned Manhattan Borough Jail from 124-125 White Street to the vacant federal jail at 150 Park Road, and using the original site for 100% affordable housing?
I'm so glad we're getting all the easy questions done first. My North Star in so much of the discussion around criminal legal matters and reform, which I know this is one part of, is to do everything humanly possible to close Rikers Island as quickly as we can. And I want to just, I know I have 3 minutes and I'm going to use all of them. You know, I used to represent just the block before Rikers Island, State Assembly. And I visited Rikers a number of times. And the last time that I went to Rikers Island, a colleague of Tony and I's, Assemblymember Jessica Gonzalez Rojas, witnessed an incarcerated New Yorker try to take their own life in front of them. That's the level of despair on that island. It's an island where we are legally mandated to close it by 2027, yet we all understand This mayor's administration has made that functionally impossible by the mere fact that the jail population is higher than it was when this legislation was passed. And the inaction is one that is costing New Yorkers their lives. Just this month, there was a 2-week period where 5 incarcerated New Yorkers died. And so I share that as a larger context. And as part of that plan, the law to close Rikers is to build smaller jails in Manhattan, Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens. And I intend to follow the law. And I also know that there are New Yorkers who feel differently, who have concerns. And my commitment, my belief, does not preclude me from meeting with those New Yorkers, from hearing from those New Yorkers. So right now, my campaign is setting up a meeting with, hope I will get this name correct, Neighbors United Below Now, in DC. Feel very strong in opposition to the construction, and to listen to them and to hear them. And that's how I approach this.
What is your plan if the National Guard is deployed to New York?
You know, I want to be honest with everyone here. This is an inevitability. It is not something we can simply hope will not occur. Donald Trump has shown himself as someone who cares little for the law and who seeks to use every tool imaginable to intimidate entire cities into submission. Now, we are in a position where we can also see what has worked in fighting back against this administration. In California, the mayor of LA worked with the Attorney General and the governor to file a lawsuit in opposition to the deployment of the guard. A federal judge recently found in their favor that that deployment was illegal. The Attorney General of that state estimates that for every dollar they spent on legal fees, they recovered more than $30,000 in otherwise lost federal money. Now, can you imagine Andrew Cuomo working with Tish James and Kathy Hochul to fight back against Donald Trump? And I say that sincerely because, you know, I'm in a race running against someone who spent more time on the phone with the president of this country than with the Democratic leaders in the state. And it speaks to the misplaced priorities of our politics. So what I will do is work with our governor, work with our attorney general to make clear that this is not only opposed by New Yorkers who represent the entirety of the state, but it is one that we will fight with every single ounce of spirit in our body. And we've seen that when you organize your political colleagues, your civil society, in the manner that Governor Pritzker did in Illinois, you can take what seemed inevitable and push it out of view such that now we don't hear about the deployment to Chicago. Now we hear about the deployment to Memphis. This is also what it means to fight a bully. It doesn't mean to elect a bully of our own, it means electing someone who's actually able to fight and win.
There are 355 CEOs community gardens that the city has zoned as vacant lots. This allows the city to repurpose them, take them away from the stewards at any time. Do you support zoning them as preferable? We would protect them by state law.
I think community gardens are incredibly important. And what I would do is go site by site, working especially with the city council to assess these gardens and ensure that we're protecting these gardens.
Thank you.
We can ask more questions.
I should have gone home.
It's too late now. As the city makes more room for pedestrians, bikes, and e-vehicles, what laws are needed to adjust to this? And how will you enforce the laws for bikes and e-vehicles?
You know, I think it was about a year ago that the former DOT Commissioner Jeanette Sadiq Khan wrote an article about what congestion prices could mean. And she wrote about the possibilities that we had to change our streetscape such that we could catch up to how New Yorkers actually get around. And we have sadly miss that opportunity by and large. Now, much of our part of this conversation around e-bikes and vehicles, it focuses on individual actions and infractions. And one of the things that I will also do is focus on the systemic drivers of this chaotic streetscape. One of them being the app companies. So, to put it simply, DoorDash recently donated in the primary $1 million to Andrew Cuomo's Super PAC. You might ask yourself, why? It's not because he orders a lot of food. It's because they want to influence labor and street safety regulations. Because their app, their algorithm for all of their delivery workers is ones that pushes those workers to make as many deliveries as possible in a finite period of time. It is an algorithm that rewards the breaking of street safety regulations and one that hurts riders who actually follow the law, which would then take them more time. And so we have to ensure that there is regulation of these algorithms such that what is incentivized is following the law. That has to be accepted. The other thing that I'll share is the city has to do its part at separating out interactions with these bikes and pedestrians. You know, I represent Astoria and Long Island City. We have the Queensboro Bridge. For years, we fought for a roadway that would be separate for pedestrians and a roadway that was separate for cyclists. And for years, we were denied that. And I saw firsthand New Yorkers who were facing injuries because of just how small that roadway was. It wasn't even larger than the width of one bicycle. And I have walked that roadway, I have biked that roadway, I have very slowly run across that roadway. And no matter what I've been doing, I feel this anger, person coming up in front of me. And yet I know the real anger I should feel is with the city of New York. And that's what often these design decisions do, is they pit New Yorkers against each other, when in fact the design has necessitated that aggression. And now we have a separate roadway. And you can just feel the level of ease that has come into New Yorkers' lives on both sides of that roadway. And I think that's an example of what life could look like across so much of our city. If we said, this is where bikes go, this is where pedestrians go, and this is where cars go. Everyone will benefit from that because everyone will know where they're expected.
Assemblyman, do you support city-funded Medicare coverage without co-pays for New York City municipal retirees? Our intro 1096, as opposed to moving them to Medicare Advantage?
Could you stand up for one moment? If you could stand up for one moment. I want everyone to see this t-shirt. It says, Stop Project 2025. Those can see on the front. Stop Project 2025. You can't read the front. I'll leave that to you. And I bring up that t-shirt because Medicare Advantage is part of that same plan of Project 2025. And I want to be very clear. I firmly oppose Medicare Advantage and the path to privatization of healthcare, and I commit to working with unions and their members to ensure continued healthcare without these threats that have been a part of so many retirees' lives over these last years.
Future in your administration's budgets.
You know, too often I think that the climate crisis is described in a language of ideology, when in fact it is a language of quality of life. The climate crisis determines if you can breathe the air in the city that you own, determines if you can afford the home that you have spent so long to buy. It determines whether you can continue to live by the water wherever you are across the city. And there is so much we have to do to combat the climate crisis that is not the big splashy projects, but it's the change in which we approach infrastructure of our city. I'll give you an example. We have a sewage system built for rainfall more than 100 years ago. Whenever it rains in New York City to a certain amount, it really pours. And there's a technology called cloud burst technology. It's been utilized at the basketball court in Jamaica, Queens. Pilot, where this is a material that absorbs excess rainfall, holds it for 24 to 48 hours while the sewers are overwhelmed. And then as that rainfall is finally gone, then the court releases that rain. And it doesn't actually overwhelm the infrastructure. This is an example, alongside bioswales, alongside permeable concrete, alongside floodable parks. These are examples of things that we need to implement across the city. And I think you asked about disaster mitigation. You know, I recently visited the 9/11 Memorial Museum and was speaking to the head of the museum, who was telling me of how many New Yorkers have died since 9/11 from their health conditions. And that it is disgusting that that is a debate that has to be had about the funding of that health care. That we have to fight back against a Republican Party that is continuously looking to cut those benefits. And I just bring this up because that also has to be our understanding of a responsibility we have to New Yorkers in Lower Manhattan, is to fulfill those promises that were made, and that requires having a mayor who can go to Washington, D.C., and not have to return halfway through that trip because your fundraiser is being raised by the feds. That requires having a mayor for whom their number one priority is the welfare of this city, and that's the mayor.
What is your position on Israel Gaza?
I've never been asked this. No, I am someone running to be the mayor of this city with a firm understanding that my utmost responsibility is to the people of this city, to the problems of this city, and to the future of this city. And that will always be my North Star, and I will also always be honest about how I feel beyond this city, because I know that millions of New Yorkers care deeply about what happens in Israel and Palestine. And I'm one of those New Yorkers.
Sorry.
And I have long built a politics in my heart of universality, a belief in universal rights of justice, safety, peace, and that the meaning of those values can only come in your application of them to all. So if you believe in those ideas, but if you draw a line in the sand when it comes, for example, to Palestinians, I believe that not only are you diminishing those values, you're also making it easier for yourself to draw an exception again and again. And so I believe I support Palestinian human rights, as I support the human rights of all people everywhere. I am horrified by what we have seen, and I'm horrified also as an American, knowing that we have funded this genocide with our own taxpayer dollars. And I also know that at the cornerstone of this politics has to be a belief in the shared humanity of all of us. And I think often about a Palestinian New Yorker who came up to me and she told me that 85 members of the family were killed at the Israeli military. And I couldn't even grasp the enormity of that devastation. And so I think that it is something that must end, and I think that it is a position of human rights to hold.
We are just about at time, so this will be the last question, then we'll take a quick pick with the audience. What are your plans for improving sanitation, especially street refuse? And how much time have you spent thinking about the rats?
Rats. You know, there are a few words that we have seen become almost as understood as if they are of the right wing. Efficiency, waste, fraud, even quality of life. And I think as progressives, these should be at the cornerstone of all of our politics. Because if you care about working people, you care about the quality of life. If you care about the public sector, you care about its efficiency. You care about the fact that there is no waste, there is no fraud. And so to me, sanitation is at the core of that problem. Having a clean city. And the fact that when Councilmember Buck has been at City Hall, is having to fight proposals from a mayoral administration looking to quite literally take trash cans off street corners. That is the reverse of delivering on that problem. And the responses, sometimes if a trash can is receiving too much trash, the city's response is to remove the trash can. Not to have more places to put the trash, it is to remove the trash can. And this just speaks to how so often City Hall and city government is reactive. You know, it's a DOT that will install street safety, infrastructure improvements only after someone is killed at that intersection. How does that make sense? And so to me, I want to work with my sanitation department not only to make sure they're fully funded, like every city agency should be, but that we are exhausting every single option to make this a cleaner city than it is today, and to make it clear to New Yorkers that cleanliness is a key part of how we measure the outcomes of our own city government. Thank you so much for joining us in this photo.
All right, guys, I'm gonna get a head start on this. Much love. Please do subscribe. We'll have more Zohran coverage. Tomorrow I'm gonna cover Curtis Lee with Thing, and Adams might be shortly thereafter. So, all right, guys, I'm not gonna wait in line to get a photo. Bye-bye. Please do subscribe.